Santiago del Carmen Maria, the Queen of Crowning Thorns.
December 4th, 2025. This one will be long, but please bear with me. We need to spread the word. This is an urgent matter. Courtroom lies and detention, nightmares, oh honey. Pour yourself a stiff one, because this tale from the halls of justice is going to have you slamming your fist on the table right alongside me. Picture this. A high-end mighty official struts into a federal courtroom, swears on a stack of Bibles to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, only to unleash a torrent of polished nonsense about how immigrants are being pampered with dignity and respect. Rumors of abuse. PFFT, all lies, she says, batting those eyelashes like she's selling swampland in the Everglades. And the judge, that bench-warming enabler, just nods along, spreads it thick on the bread of official record, and chews it up like it's gourmet. Ha, as if we're all too dumb to see through the charade. I'm talking about that bold-faced denial machine in action, and it's got me yelling at the top of my lungs. How do they sleep at night? Let me break it down for you, because this isn't some fly-by-night whisper. It's the raw, ugly truth bubbling up from the underbelly of our so-called justice system. We're in the thick of this drawn-out circus called the contempt proceedings over those deportation flights to El Salvador back in March. You remember, the ones where planes full of Venezuelan men, alleged gang members or not, were barreling toward a mega-prison infamous for its beatings, overcrowding, and zero-mercy vibe. A federal judge, sharp as a tack, slaps down an order. Turn those birds around, bring 'em back, give these folks their day in court. But no, the powers that be decide that's optional, and who calls the shots? The very woman perched at the top of Homeland Security, striding into court with that steely gaze, insisting everything's hunky-dory. Immigrants treated with kid gloves, she claims, dignity, respect, the works. Abuse, fabricated fairy tales from bleeding hearts. Laughing bitterly here, because if that's dignity, I'd hate to see their version of a slap on the wrist, direct hit. She's lying through her teeth, and the court's gobbling it up like it's the last slice of pie. In those hearings, she doubled down, defending the whole operation as a necessary evil to ship out dangerous criminals. Never mind the due process black hole these men tumbled into. No hearings, no lawyers, just zip ties and a one-way ticket to hell, and the prison they landed in. Secot, that Salvadoran beast where inmates rot in cells built for breaking spirits, with reports of torture that make your stomach turn. Guards slamming heads into walls, denying food until confessions spill out, echoes of darker times, if you catch my drift. But back in that D.C. courtroom, it's all sunshine and compliance. She swears up and down that her team followed every rule, that these deportees got the red carpet treatment. Bull. The Justice Department filings even pin it on her, the final call to ignore the judge's order, to hand those men over anyway. Yet there she is, testifying with that fearless facade, mocking the very idea of wrongdoing. Sarcastic slow clap for the audacity. And don't think this is isolated drama, oh no. While she's spinning yarns in court, the real horror shows playing out in ICE facilities across the map, places where the air reeks of despair and the walls whisper secrets of suffering. Take Florida's gems, like that state-run nightmare dubbed Alligator Alcatraz, opened with fanfare after a certain orange-tinted visit, now a swampy purgatory for asylum seekers. Amnesty International just dropped their scorching report today, and darling, it's a page-turner from the Ninth Circle. Detainees shackled like beasts, tossed into a 2-foot metal box outside, chained to the ground under that relentless sun. No water, no shade, mosquitoes feasting like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, hours, sometimes days, baking alive. Torture, they call it that outright under international law. One guy rots there an entire day for asking about meds for a sick buddy. Yelling now. What kind of monsters greenlight this? Flip to Chrome, the federal flop in Miami where the chaos is dialed up to 11. Overcrowding so bad toilets overflow, sewage sloshes into sleeping quarters, people curled on filthy floors under lights that never dim, driving them to the edge. Medical neglect, it's the house special. A man waves a sign from solitary. Help, I'm on hunger strike, hand mangled for 37 days. Guards. They slam the flap on his fingers, hard, while observers watch in horror. Beatings for breathing wrong, racist taunts that cut deeper than knives, forced kneeling to scarf down slop from the floor like pets. Ha, dignity my foot. And the deaths, 6 in Florida alone since last fall, 4 at Courtroom, hearts giving out from the stress, infections ignored until it's too late. This is the reality her courtroom fairy tale whitewashes, the abuse she dares call lies. Fearlessly roasting this farce, the courts, bless their blind hearts, lap it up. Judges block shutdowns on technicalities, let the flights fly, and now entertain contempt probes that feel more like tea parties than reckonings. One even weighs testimony from the very folks who orchestrated the defiance, as if a sworn statement erases the handcuffs clicking shut. It's a cozy club, government, military, judiciary, all complicit in this slow-motion atrocity. The military ships them out, ICE locks them up, courts rubber stamp the denials. I've lost faith too, screaming it from the rooftops. They're all in on it, propping up a system that treats humans like trash bags to be discarded. Echoes of history's worst, those dark regimes where processing meant erasure, dehumanize, detain, deny. Intelligent eyes see it clear. This isn't protection, it's punishment wrapped in policy, carelessly blunt. Billions pour into these hellholes, $360 million no bid for alligator Alcatraz alone, while food banks starve and hospitals shutter. Private contractors rake it in, guards get bonuses for brutality, and she testifies it's all above board. One deportee's story guts me. Dragged from a bus in the rain, kneed in the neck, tased for protesting. Pregnant women detained, kids shipped with parents by mistake, citizens even yanked from their lives because profiles match some algorithm's whim. And her response? More lies, insisting no citizens harmed, no abuse is real. Laughing incredulously, evidence piles higher than the lies. From Human Rights Watch logs of solitary stints averaging 27 days torture by UN standards, to whistleblowers spilling on the endless nightmare of isolation cells. Emotional gut punch. It boils my blood, this betrayal. These are families fleeing cartels, wars, the unimaginable met with cages and contempt. One report quotes a detainee, "You feel like your life is over." And the courts, they chew her words and spit out rulings that keep the machine humming. Mocking the hypocrisy. If dignity's the game, why the enforced disappearances, no tracking, families in the dark, lawyers stonewalled, alligator Alcatraz runs sans ICE oversight, incommunicado hell that screams enforced vanishing. Direct and intense, wake up. This isn't governance, it's a grudge match against the vulnerable, her testimony. A masterclass in mockery, daring us to believe the emperor's clothes are bespoke. But here's the fearless truth. Voices like Amnesty, the Eclue, everyday fighters, they're the light in this fog. Demanding closures, accountability, an end to the mass detention madness. 66,000 souls locked up nationwide, records shattering like glass under boots. Legislation's bubbling, presumption of release for the vulnerable, phase out of profit-driven prisons. Ha, as if that'll fly without a fight. Still, it fuels me. I've got no patience for the enablers, the ones who nod along in court while screams echo unheard. This gossip, it's my Molotov tossed at the complacency. Roast over, if they want to play gods, let's see how they handle the inferno. Honestly, it shakes me, faith in the pillars crumbling like dry rot. Government turns a blind eye, military enforces the ugly, courts co-sign the cruelty. But me, I'm done whispering. This is the roar, the unfiltered spill on a system rotten to the core. Stay fierce, loves, the drama's far from over. Shocking detention horrors exposed, oh darling. Grab your coffee, because I have to spill the tea on this absolute nightmare unfolding right here in sunny Florida. And trust me, it's got me yelling from the rooftops. Can you even imagine? The Orange Tyrant's crew is out here running these so-called detention centers like some twisted medieval dungeon. And now Amnesty International drops this bombshell report that's got everyone gasping. I mean, come on, we're talking about places where people are treated worse than forgotten leftovers in the back of your fridge. Ha! As if we needed more proof that power corrupts in the most pathetic ways possible. Let me paint the picture for you, because this isn't just some vague rumor. It's detailed, it's disgusting, and it's happening on American soil, no less. Picture this. They've got this facility nicknamed Alligator Alcatraz down in the Everglades. Sounds exotic, right? Wrong. It's a state-run hellhole where migrants, asylum seekers fleeing who knows what horrors back home, are shackled like animals every time they step out of their cells. And get this, for the tiniest infraction, or sometimes none at all, they throw folks into this 2-foot-high metal cage outside, exposed to the blistering Florida sun, choking humidity and swarms of mosquitoes. No water, no mercy, just baking there for hours, sometimes a whole day. One poor soul described it as a box outside, exposed to the South Florida sun and humidity and exposed to mosquitoes. I laughed out loud when I heard that, but it's the bitter kind of laugh, you know, because who does that? It's like they're competing for the world's most sadistic summer camp award, yelling here, how dare they? And don't get me started on the medical neglect. Oh, it's infuriating. These people beg for help, and what do they get? Crickets, or worse, outright denial. At the Courtroom Immigration Processing Center in Miami, another gem in this crown of thorns, detainees are forced to kneel with their hands tied behind their backs just to eat from styrofoam plates on the floor. Like dogs. One report even mentions guards slamming metal flaps on injured hands, causing more pain. I mean, exclamation point after exclamation point. This is torture, plain and simple. Amnesty calls it cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment that rises to actual torture in some cases. And the overcrowding. Overflowing toilets with waste seeping into where people sleep, constant bright lights 24/7 driving everyone mad, poor food that's barely edible, and showers so limited you'd think water was a luxury item. New arrivals at Courtroom were stuck sleeping on buses without toilets or AC for days. Ha, as if that's not a recipe for breaking someone's spirit. Now, let's roast this a bit, shall we? The Orange Tyrant's administration funnels millions, hundreds of millions, actually into these places. Alligator Alcatraz. Got $608 million in federal reimbursements, and Courtroom's contract with some private company called Akima is worth $685 million. But where's the money going? Not to humane conditions, that's for sure. It's like they're hoarding it for golden toilets or something equally ridiculous while people suffer in filth. And the guards, reports of commonplace violence, racist slurs, and just outright bullying. One detainee said guards rushed in and threw cellmates to the ground for simply asking for medication on behalf of a sick friend. Those helpers, straight to the cage for punishment. I can't even laughing sarcastically now, because it's so absurdly cruel, it's almost cartoonish. But no, this is real life under this regime, and it's got me fuming, fearlessly calling it out. This isn't new, but it's escalated. Alligator Alcatraz opened back in July after a little visit from you-know-who, and it quickly became infamous. A federal judge tried to shut it down in August over lawsuits and environmental gripes. Ha, even the alligators probably complained. But nope, 2 judges with cozy ties blocked that, and it's back in business by October. Meanwhile, Courtroom's been a hotspot for abuse for years, echoing older reports from Human Rights Watch about similar humiliations. The Orange Tyrants, folks are criminalizing migration like it's a sport, detaining asylum seekers who deserve better. And the incommunicado stuff. No tracking, people vanishing through transfers. It's like enforced disappearances straight out of a dictator's playbook. Yelling again, wake up, people. But wait, the responses from the powers that be, priceless in their denial. Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis' mouthpiece calls the whole report a politically motivated attack and flat-out says none of these fabrications are true. Oh, please. As if dismissing it makes the shackles disappear. They're claiming it endangers staff and detainees, irony much. Because from where I'm sitting, the real danger is being locked up in these places. Amnesty's calling for closures, an end to mass detention, and real accountability. But will that happen? Doubt it, not with this crowd in charge. They're too busy patting themselves on the back for tough. Policies that are just code for heartless. Honestly, it breaks my heart and boils my blood at the same time. These are human beings, moms, dads, kids fleeing violence, persecution, and they're met with cages and neglect. One detainee's quote haunts me. I saw a guy who was put in it for an entire day. Can you feel the despair? and the barriers to lawyers' due process. It's designed to crush hope. Sarcastic clap here. Well done, team, you've turned Florida into a cautionary tale, but me, I'm not staying silent. This gossip isn't just chatter, it's a wake-up call wrapped in sharp wit. We've got to talk about it, share it, because ignoring it lets the rot spread. And let's not forget the bigger picture. This is the legacy being built. Private companies profiting off misery, state-federal handshakes that bypass oversight. Alligator Alcatraz is the first state-run immigration jail with federal bucks operating outside ICE's already lax rules. Chrome's chaos is amplified under the current push for more detentions. It's intelligent to see the pattern. Dehumanize, detain, deny, but carelessly I say enough. The world watches and history judges harshly. Imagine the memoirs from these folks, they'd be bestsellers in the How Not to Run a Country section. Direct and intense. If you're supporting this, check your mirror. These violations aren't abstract, they're screams from real people. Amnesty interviewed detainees, visited sites. This is solid, not fluff. Emotional outburst. It makes me want to march down there myself. But for now, spilling this tea is my weapon. Stay woke, darlings, because the drama's just heating up. MAGA, please note, I was not talking to you and I do not need permission to speak up, and God do I fearlessly speak my mind. I just want to thank you all, like, share, comment, and follow to stay connected. It also helps me out a lot. I appreciate your time and I love you all. I am Santiago del Carmen Maria, the Queen of Crowning Thoughts, because I say it like it is. Crowning Thoughts, True Speaker, copyright 2025 by Santiago DC Maria, is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share, alike 4.0 International.